I've been keeping up with this Paramount slash Netflix slash wanting to get Warner Brothers properties. I mean, I understand why everybody wants it because there's a lot of money that can be made if things are done right. Here is my opinion on what we're about to see and what's going to happen if something goes left, something goes the other way, something goes right the way, or whatever. Netflix. If you are invested in Netflix, you have to realize if they get Warner Brothers, your streaming and your revenue is going to be focused solely on streaming content. Netflix does not, and in my opinion, does not focus on high quality content. They throw content out left and right. They make woke crap. Paramount, on the other hand, on the other side of the aisle, from what it sounds like, they want to help bring money and bring revenue back to the theaters and make it flourish, or kind of sort of like that. But everything is so woke and backwards and stupid, screwed up. Who knows, right? My opinion, of course. When it comes to stock holding, who do you want to hold in stock when it comes to Warner Brothers, Netflix, and Paramount? That is a deep thought. Would you want Netflix? My opinion, no, because of all the history they have behind them of being just in bad decisions. They're eating up all the competition and they're watering down the competition. In long term, that makes everything less valuable. When it comes to Paramount, Warner Brothers is expensive. Paramount makes pretty good movies, has a good mindset when it comes to the business motto. If you own Warner Brothers stock, is that going to help Warner Brothers go up or down if it gets overridden by Paramount? This triangle love affair that's going on with these guys is unreal. So let's go ahead and listen to this little news clip. Is a few minutes long.
Breaking news just crossing the wires. Warner Brothers Discovery setting a special meeting date of March 20th, and they're unanimously recommending that shareholders vote for the Netflix merger. But at the same time, it's giving Paramount an opportunity to negotiate a better deal on this, too. They say that they're going to have 7 days to come up with their best and final offer. And I'd have to say, Joe, this looks like a poop or get off the pot moment. They keep saying they're going to come up with better offer. They're saying you got 7 days to do it. Netflix is giving them these 7 days to negotiate that. But stop saying you're going to address these issues. Come up with a better offer, or we're going to move ahead with this vote come March 20th. Joining us right now on the Squawk Newsline is Julia Borston. And Julia, this lays out some very specific changes that they want addressed in the transaction agreements, that they say this is a better deal with more certainty that we're getting from Netflix at this point. Here are the 7 things they would have to address.
Yes, absolutely, Becky. I think it's really important to note here that Netflix is saying we are granting this 7-day period, the 7-day waiver to enable WBD to negotiate with Paramount Skydance in order to remove the uncertainty. They want this all to be out in the open and all settled before the shareholder meeting on March 20th, when shareholders will be voting on that Netflix merger. And one key thing here is that Warner Brothers Discovery is saying in its release and in its proxy that a representative of Paramount informed Warner Brothers that it would agree to pay $31 per share pending the engagement, and that the offer was not Paramount's best and final proposal. Now, of course, we know that Paramount had offered $30 per share, but the idea that there was this more casual offer of an additional, higher payment per share, and it was not official, they're saying we got this more casual offer, and now we want to make it official. We want to know exactly what we're negotiating for. So I think that's a really key point here. And this next week of negotiations between Paramount Skydance and Warner Brothers is an opportunity to get this all sorted out and all official, as opposed to these separate conversations that are more off the books.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty interesting because time and time again we have heard from representatives of Warner Brothers, whether that be Samuel Di Piazza, who is the chairman of the board, or others who have come out on this, who have said, look, we just don't trust with certainty that they would be able to meet all of these things. This is the first time I've seen it laid out in a document where they say these are the 7 things that they would need to do in order to make sure that we feel comfortable and confident with it. I mean, it includes refinancing the junior refinancing and the junior lien notes, that they would be doing that or pay the $1.5 billion financing fee to Warner Brothers Discovery at the time it would be due, which is December 30th of this year. Bridge refinancing, they would not have to get P-Sky's consent for Warner Brothers to do that bridge refinancing, which was some of the back and forth that they had talked about before. The material adverse effect, consistent with the statement in this, that they are prepared to address any concerns that they had with Discovery Global's performance on closing certainty. Equity cure to support debt, interim operating covenants, equity financing certainty, and equity syndication. It's interesting here that Warner Brothers will receive full notice and full information regarding any equity syndication, and its consent would be required for any direct or indirect syndication that would delay potentially closing on any of these things or regulatory approvals. That seems like, okay, you know, if you want to just do the math, $31 is more than the offer that Netflix has put out. But if you have to back all these other things up to say with certainty, you know, a bird in hand is better than 2 in the bush. This just seems like a situation where they are saying, put up or shut up.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they also say the Warner Brothers Discovery Board has not determined that Paramount Skydance proposal is reasonably likely to result in a transaction that is superior to the Netflix merger, but they say we need to get this all sorted out now. And of course, WBD says they want to maximize value for shareholders. And for Netflix, you know, they don't want to be negotiating against themselves when they don't know how much Paramount Skydance is officially willing to offer. So this is all designed to get this sorted the next 7 days.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We're just watching right now. Paramount Skydance shares are up 3.8% on this. Warner Brothers shares up by about 2.33%. Netflix shares are off by close to a 0.25 percentage point. So this is kind of how the market is playing and reacting to some of this. But Julia, thank you very much, and we will be looking forward.
Now, if you are investing in this, especially long term, at this moment where there's so much uncertainty, especially overall markets, when it comes to entertainment and the watered down crap, especially with Netflix buying the WWE, certain parts of the NFL, I mean, everything is such a jumbled mess. It's hard to say who's going to be worth what. And with this right here, breaking these 3 off and turning into 2 big ones, I mean, your competition is getting lesser and lesser. Back in the day when you had several, even independent studios, there was competition to a point to where the best product would win. My opinion, of course, I don't like making long videos. I apologize, but this is a very serious thing if you come to something about getting entertainment and money worth the value of your time to these people. But there we go with the latest on Netflix versus Paramount for Warner Brothers Discovery.